Metal Jesus here, and I am back again with Kinsey.
Hello, great to be back, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about an intro buyer's guide to the PlayStation 2.
This is going to be a great video if you are just getting into collecting for the PlayStation 2. Let's say you're at a retro gaming store or maybe at a garage sale and you're wondering, like, what do you get? What do you need to sort of know about the PS2 in order to start collecting for it? So we're going to cover the different models, we're going to cover the accessories, and we're going to cover, you know, our sort of top 10 games that you should just get day one.
Yep.
Let's take a look. So let's talk about the very first model of PlayStation 2. This is the original.
The PS2 Fat.
You know, and I have to say a little bit of commentary. I think this is, I want to say, one of the ugliest consoles. It's weird. It's weird looking. It
is weird. I do like their nice blue gradients on the USB panel, though.
That's funny.
It's sexy.
Yeah. So this is obviously the first version of it, and it's very heavy. What some of the interesting things about it is that the tray opens. So it actually has this tray that kind of opens like a DVD player, because for a lot of people this was their first DVD player, right? Their first movie player.
It was my first in my bedroom DVD player.
For a lot of people, actually. It was a big selling point for this console. So know that's how that opens there, and it also tends to wear out. I think this one actually won't even open anymore. So, I know, it's so sad. Also, there's a big fan in this one, which is, it can be a little bit louder. So if you're buying it used, you know, you may ask them if they ever noticed it, or when you buy it, you may have to actually clean this with a little bit of canned air. So I've had to do that with this.
A lot of dust will collect back here, so gotta keep it clean.
And then one of the interesting things about this, and the reason why it's so big, is because it has this huge expansion port. And what was this used for?
This is for a hard drive, actually, that you could get. And it was really only used mainly for Final Fantasy XI online, so. I think
originally what Sony did with this, if I remember right, is that if you got the hard drive, you could also install Linux on it at one point. Yeah, I don't know if, and then I think they took that ability away, or some point is maybe because people were pirating games, I have no idea. But just know that this version of it, you know, has an expansion port, and it doesn't have, I don't think it has network out. I don't think it does, because I think, if I remember right, when I first got the PlayStation and SOCOM 2 came out, Sony sent me, because I was reviewing stuff at the time, they sent me the little adapter for network play.
It looks a little bit like the hard drive.
Oh, that's right, that's right. So this is the first one, and you can find these everywhere. Yeah. But they're a little bit unreliable, aren't they? Yeah.
Actually, the lasers in here tend to go out, and sometimes it goes out in a sneaky way where it'll still play a lot of PS2 games, but not the ones out of the blue bottom discs.
Okay.
So that happens a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's a good point, is that when the PlayStation first came out, there were different colored discs that you would get, and I think it's because of the density or something like that. There was blue, and then black was PlayStation 1, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. But yeah, and so actually this one doesn't play any of those blue ones.
Yeah, and it has trouble sometimes. Like, it's designed to be able to play them, but it's usually what's going to go out first. Yeah. And then there's also a few dual-layer discs, like God of War, and sometimes those won't work either on the PS2 Fats.
Yeah, so just something to keep in mind. But the good news is that Sony released a slim model, which is, you have, what version is this?
This is the SingStar edition. It's my beautiful pearly white.
It's actually pretty cool looking. Mine is black, but this is the white, obviously. And then they have like red. They've got a bunch of different colors.
They have a silver too. That's really nice.
That's cool. So this is the model that I use the most, is the slim, for a number of reasons. One, they got rid of the drawer, so basically it just pops open like this, which means that there's less parts to break.
Yeah, which is great.
Yeah, and then it also has the network out in it, and it's also much quieter. I don't even know if there is a fan, but again, it's like,
it's a baby fan.
Yeah, it's just more optimized, so it's definitely a better version of it, and pretty much everything works on it. Although, do you know if the multi-tap
you have to get a different version of the multi-tap, because the way the plugs are designed, they're kind of affixed, so it goes into the memory card slot and the controller slot. So you have to get a special one. Okay, cool. So one of the really neat things about the PS2, if we didn't mention that, is that it plays PlayStation 1 games. So there are lots and lots of PS2 games to play and collect, but again, this opens up a whole other
you know, console to collect for. It's awesome. So I use mine for both.
Yeah. So not only does the PS2 have one of the biggest libraries of any system ever,
right,
but you have this other new whole wonderful world to explore. And it's great.
And it's super small. I mean, I love how Sony does that they really slim down their consoles and make them better, essentially.
Yeah.
So let's talk about a couple things. So the controller.
This is just the standard DualShock 2, but in a beautiful yellow.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it came in a whole bunch of color varieties, like most controllers do nowadays.
Right.
So this is just the regular DualShock 2, which is the same, basically the same as the DualShock 1, but beautiful.
Yes, it is. So, and then I have the Logitech wireless. So this has a little receiver in it that you plug in, and then you can basically. This is a fantastic wireless controller. I'm really impressed with this.
Logitech knows their stuff.
They really do. It's comfortable. There's no like noticeable lag in it. The batteries last forever. I always forget like the last time I put new batteries in it. It just seems to last for months and months and months. Definitely a really cool controller to get, although they can be kind of expensive. So I'm kind of surprised. There was a time when you could buy these for nothing while the PS2 was kind of going out, but now if you see them, snag them because they're awesome.
Definitely.
So then you have the memory cards. I have a memory card here with a little stamp on it. That's what helps me remind me like what games are on here.
In case you want to mail it too.
That's right. To a friend. I can mail it to you. So the standard came in 8 megabytes. And it stores a ton of save games. Usually you can have, you know, anywhere from 12 to 20 save games on there, depending on how large they are. But if you are going to play PlayStation 1 games, you do need a PlayStation 1 memory card.
Yes, which is great to know because I'm sure a lot of people got home and couldn't save.
And that's another thing too, a lot of people forget is that you need a memory card to save. And it's funny because people forget, like they get all excited, they get home and it's like, you can't save. And so, you know, back in the day, you needed a memory card. So very important to pick up. Thankfully, these aren't too expensive and you can find them everywhere. And usually you have like 2 or 3 around, you know, just in case.
And there's tons of third-party ones for the memory cards as well.
Right. A couple other things I want to mention is that if you want, you can actually do HD out on the PlayStation 2. But you do need those component cables. So basically they're cables you can get on Amazon. They output to I think 480i or 480p, not super high resolution, but it does look a lot better on a modern television. Yeah. So you're definitely gonna wanna do that. I think you can get them for like $4 or $8, not super expensive. And that's pretty much it, I think, for the hardware.
I think so. All right, so now we're gonna go through our 10 must-have games for the system.
That's right, these are games that we think anybody who's starting to collect for the PlayStation 2 will enjoy. It's not just like a top 10, it's just, again, a must-have, like these games are awesome on the PlayStation 2.
So first up, we have Katamari Damacy, and all the Katamari games are amazing. They're kind of a fun, quirky, platformer puzzle type game. You're basically rolling around collecting stuff to replace the stars in the cosmos.
Yeah, and initially these were exclusive to the PlayStation 2, and I played a ton of it, so these are awesome.
So good.
Next up is another amazing game, Shadow of the Colossus. Great game. Now this actually pushed the PlayStation 2 quite a bit with amazing graphics. It's basically boss after boss after boss. It's really, really good.
Beautiful.
Very much so.
And next we have Final Fantasy 12. And you know, we did talk a little bit about this, 12 or 10?
Yeah, that's a tough one for me because I do like 10 a lot. It's one of the first games I got from my PS2 back in the day, played a ton, but I do think this is the better game.
I agree. The dialogue's better, it's beautiful, definitely recommended.
Yeah. Here's a game that I love this game. It only came out on the PlayStation 2 as far as I know. Splashdown Rides Gone Wild. I feel like I talk about this game a lot on my channel, and that's because it's so awesome. It is Sea-Doo racing on water, but it has crazy levels that change every lap.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's cool. And then you have trick system, so much fun.
Next up, we have Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal.
Another game where I was like, which one do I choose? Because the trilogy, especially on the PlayStation 2, was amazing. I really like Up Your Arsenal, which I think is the third one, and then they also had Going Commando, which I think was the second one. Both of those games are just, I mean, just buy them day one. Yeah,
they're amazing platformers. They're not very expensive. They're perfect for your collection.
Yeah. This was one that you chose.
Next up is Odin Sphere. It's a little bit of a niche title, but it's a 2D, I guess, beat 'em up is how you would say it. But
beautiful. It's
so beautiful. It's all hand-drawn art. Vanillaware does amazing games. This one's definitely my favorite on the PS2.
Cool. Next up is a game that's close to both of our hearts. That's the Burnout series, and you have Burnout Revenge here, which we were talking before this. It's like, oh man, Burnout 3 or Burnout Revenge. In my opinion, I think really just you can play them both, although this is the pinnacle of the series.
It's so good. You can do attacks from the back, which makes it even better.
Crash mode, there's also, what's the one where you're battling? Road Rage. Road Rage.
You gotta get takedowns, you get your...
Dude, I start raging when I play that. I literally hate those other cars.
You literally get Road Rage during Road Rage.
So good.
Next up, we have Persona 3. We wanted to make sure we threw an RPG in here because PlayStation is kind of known for having wonderful RPGs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And there's not many that are better than Persona 3, in my opinion.
Right.
Like, the anime style is fantastic. All the social links and almost like a dating sim aspect to it as well. Dungeon crawling, it's all wonderful in this game.
And we almost picked Persona 4, which I know a lot of people also like. So if you like these, pick up both.
Yeah.
Pick up both.
Definitely.
Next up is a series that a lot of people would be like, you know, this defined the PlayStation 2, and that is the God of War series. We have the first two right here because we couldn't choose.
Yeah.
So amazing. These are kind of platforming beat 'em up games, but they really redefined the genre. Not only was the gameplay really perfected, but also the story was really interesting and adult and gory and violent. So good, so good.
Definitely worth picking up.
And then finally here, again, it's hard to come up with this list, but I saw this as like Amplitude.
Yes, definitely.
Dude, when this game first came out, me and Drunken Master Paul played this a ton. This was before they went on to make the Rock Band series or even the Guitar Hero series, I believe. So it's basically a rhythm game. A lot of people recognize it where you're going down the paths that are coming towards you, then you have little gems that you crush. But what makes this amazing is the soundtrack.
It's so good.
So good. It's remixed versions, kind of electronic versions of a bunch of pop songs.
It's got David Bowie. Oh,
yeah, it has Blink 182, it has Pink, it has a bunch of stuff in here. It's really, really good versions of all that stuff. All right, Kinsey, well, thanks for coming on.
Of course.
Thanks for bringing your expertise with the PlayStation 2. As always, guys, I want to thank you for watching my channel, and thanks for subscribing. Take care. What sort of advice would you give a new PlayStation 2 collector, both with the hardware and also the games? I'd love to hear about it, so please post down in the comments below. Also, I want to give a big shout out to my Patreon contributors. You guys rock and help support this show and these videos, and I greatly appreciate it. It's also good to know that my Patreon contributors get to see every video early. That's often really handy if you're collecting, so go to patreon.com/MetalJesusRocks if you would like to help us as well.